I'm so sad. My hair is rough and Christmas is coming soon. There is no hairstylist under the water.
What kind of mermaid wants to braid her hair because of a man? Oh.
Tamira lived in a weather-beaten shack on the edge of a Nigerian coastal community. Her salon was nothing more than a shaky plywood room, patched with old banners and rusted roofing sheets. When the wind blew too strongly, the walls trembled as though they might give away at any moment. Children often joked that one day the salon would fly away and land in the ocean. People in the community called her Tamira, the low-budget stylist. Some said it with laughter, others with pity, and some said it with an edge of mockery that stung deeper than she showed. She owned only a few plastic combs, each with broken teeth, and hair extensions she reused after washing. Her hair dryer was a borrowed one that hummed like a tired generator. Yet, even with these humble tools, her hands worked with silent magic. In a quiet moment, she dreamed of creating styles worthy of magazines and city billboards. She imagined customers from abroad lining up for her to braid their hair. She imagined running a real salon one day with a bright signboard and polished mirrors that showed every face clearly. Still, her dreams lived inside her heart like hidden fireflies. To make things worse, people underestimated her because of her smallness, her softness, and her financial struggle. There was a gentle spark in her, a playful humor that made customers laugh even when they weren't satisfied with their hair. She smiled easily, sometimes to mask her hurts, other times to keep her hope alive. The community saw a poor girl with poor tools, but beneath that perception was someone hungry for artistry, for success, and for growth. And she didn't know that fate, in its most unexpected form, was already making its way towards her. Other stylists in the community considered themselves superior to Tamira. Irena had an air-conditioned salon with golden painted mirrors. Foucault imported expensive attachments from abroad. Ruggieri boasted of being trained in Dubai and would often remind her customers that quality doesn't live in cheap places. Customers walked past Tamira's shack to patronize the bigger salons. Some would glance at her and whisper loud enough for her to hear. She is still using those outdated styles. Her tools belong in a museum. If she touches your hair, it might break before evening, they said. Every insult echoed in her heart, but she never responded to their mockery. She had learned to swallow hurt and transform it into silent motivation. Day after day, she sat outside her salon waiting. Sometimes an entire day would pass and only one customer would come, sometimes none at all. She felt loneliness settle over her like dust, but she refused to stop pushing. She used quiet afternoons to practice braidings on mannequin heads she made from stuffed rags. She experimented with patterns and twists she saw on YouTube, believing that one day someone would notice her. Her competitors laughed at her determination. Emena once passed by and said, "Hard work is useless when your talent is small." But Tamira simply replied with a calm smile,
"Then I will grow my talent until it fits the size of my dreams."
And she meant it. She kept working, believing that her breakthrough wasn't far away. One evening, Tamira gathered a bag of discarded hair attachments and worn out combs to dispose near the stream. It was the community's quiet dumping spot, hidden behind tall reeds and leaning palm trees. She walked there singing a song her grandmother taught her and dragging her sandals through the sandy paths. As she approached the riverbank, she heard someone sobbing. At first, she thought it was just the wind brushing through the reeds. But then, she heard it again. Her heart jumped. She dropped the bag and listened. Someone was actually crying. She pushed aside the tall reeds and stepped closer. And then, she froze. Right there at the shallow edge of the water sat the most breathtaking figure she had ever seen. It was a mermaid. The mermaid had glowing skin, long cascading hair like dark silk, and a tail that shimmered with shades of emerald and blue. The sight was unreal that Tamira blinked twice, wondering if exhaustion was tricking her eyes. The mermaid's face was buried in her hands as she wept. Tamira's fear quickly faded, replaced by curiosity, and her natural humor rose to the surface. In a gentle tone, she said, "Ah, mermaid that is fine like this is crying. Should we cry together or take turns?" The mermaid lifted her face slowly. Her eyes were large and luminous, like deep pools reflecting centuries of memory. She stared at Tamira, surprised that a human had found her. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Tamira took a careful step forward, not in fear, but in concern. "Are you all right?" she asked softly. The mermaid wiped her tears and introduced herself as Adora of the deep sea. Her voice was gentle and soaked in emotion like distant melody. She explained that she had fallen in love with a human man, a trader who lived near the coast. Every Christmas, he came to the river at night to meet her. It was their secret tradition. But now, Adora felt deeply insecure. "I want him to see me as the most beautiful woman on earth," she confessed. "But under the water, there are no hairstylists, and Christmas is around the corner. My hair is tangled and looks so messy. When he sees me, he will think I'm wild and unkempt." She ran her fingers through her long hair and winced at the knots. "I feel he will stop loving me," she whispered. Tamira listened quietly. She didn't see a magical creature, but a woman, someone who loved insanely, someone who wanted to be seen, and someone afraid of rejection. She drew closer and looked at Adora straight in the eyes. "I understand," Tamira said gently. "Wanting to look special for someone, that feeling is human, even if you are not." Adora exhaled shakingly, grateful to be heard. In that silent moment, a strange bond formed between them, one of empathy instead of fantasy. And Tamira, with her soft heart and gentle hands, felt a sudden urge to help this lonely, love-struck human being of the deep sea. Tamira told her that she would come back tomorrow afternoon to braid her hair. "This is just my little way of helping. I hope this will be enough," she asked. Adora blinked in surprise. You would do that for me?" "Why not?" Tamira smiled. "Every woman deserves to look beautiful for love." The next day, Tamira prepared herself. She packed a golden hair extension and other equipment into her small tote bag and headed to the river. She didn't bother going to the salon that day because it was of no use to her. When Adora saw her approaching, her face lit up with joy. "Thank you so much for coming," Adora said. Tamira placed a wooden chair in front of her, and Adora sat on it without hesitation. Then, Tamira started braiding. Her soft fingers moved with tenderness. She separated each section slowly, subtly, weaving them into elegant patterns. The hair smelled of salt water and some secret sweetness, like hidden flowers that blossomed beneath the waves. Adora closed her eyes, breathing steadily, and Tamira hummed her grandmother's song under her breath. Occasionally, Adora whispered, "Your touch is calming," and Tamira replied with gentle humor, "If your lover doesn't propose after seeing this hairstyle, I will personally question his eyesight." In less than 3 hours, Tamira was done. When she handed Adora a mirror to look at herself, she gasped. The braids shimmered like threads of silver and waterlight. She looked regal, radiant, and transformed into something out of this world. Emotions filled her voice and she said, "I feel beautiful, more than I ever have." Her gratitude was pure and shining. In that instant, their connection deepened, not between humans and mermaid, but between two hearts that understood longing and kindness. Adora turned to Tamira with a gaze full of emotion. She dipped her fingers into the river, and when she lifted them, droplets clung to her skin like tiny stars. "Give me your hands," she said softly. Tamira hesitated, then extended her palm. Adora touched them gently, then a warm glow surged through Tamira's fingertips like sunlight sliding into her veins. She gasped loudly and stared at her own hands as though she was seeing them for the very first time. "From today, your hands will never know rest, for every head will seek them," Adora said. Tamira blinked hard. This sounds very dramatic. Are you sure it's not just one of those poetic blessings?" Adora smiled. "You will know very soon." Then slowly, the glow faded, but the warmth remained, sitting in Tamira's palm like a hidden ember. She rubbed her hand gently, puzzled and amused. "Well," she laughed, If this gives me plenty of customers, then I'll start charging high, she said. Tamira stood up to leave, still half convinced that it was symbolic nonsense, but she did not yet understand that her hands now carried a wonder that would change everything forever. The very next morning, Tamira opened her humble shack salon as usual. She expected the same slow day, maybe one customer if luck decided to be kind. But a young woman named Suroma came by. She needed a hairstyle for her cousin's engagement. Tamira washed her hands, still remembering the warmth from the mommy's touch, though she told herself it was probably an imagination. Then she started braiding. Her movement was effortless, almost guided by something beyond her. Her fingers flowed through her hair like trained dancers. She twisted, curled, and threaded patterns of astonishing precision. When she finished, Suroma turned towards the small mirror and gasped. Immediately, she ran outside to show people, dancing and singing Tamira's name. Within minutes, half the streets gathered. They stared at her hair, with their mouths wide open. The style was flawless, sleek, and elegant. It looked like something from a celebrity fashion magazine, not from a dusty plywood shop. By afternoon, a line had formed in front of her salon. Women argued whose turn was next. Some claimed they had booked an appointment that never existed. Others offered extra payment just to jump the queue. At one point, two ladies shouted, "You copied my style! No, you copied my style!" Meanwhile, Tamira just kept walking, her fingers moving like unstoppable magic. Word spread far beyond the community. By the second day, women arrived from neighboring communities. By the third day, people started whispering, "If you want the best braids in this region, go to Tamira." Even men started coming, not to braid hair, but with gifts. They brought roasted fish, fresh bread, and fried yam. Some leaned by the doorway pretending to be casual, saying things like, "Your salon is such a fine place, so should I help you sweep the floor?" Tamira just laughed and continued her work. Her former loneliness vanished before her eyes. Her shack, once ignored, was now the center of attention, and with every passing day, her fame only grew. Emena, Fokwa, and Rujiri watched in disbelief as women from all walks of life flooded Tamira's salon. Their own salons now became shockingly quiet. The gold mirrors, imported extensions, and Lagos certificates suddenly meant nothing. At first, they claimed it was a temporary success, that it would vanish before Tamira even realized it. But when the president's wife walked into Tamira's salon one morning, it dawned on everyone that Tamira was now a celebrity. One quiet evening, as Tamira prepared to go home, Emena approached her with a forced smile. "My dear, please tell me, what products are you using? How did you suddenly change overnight? I'm willing to pay you for this information." Fokwa followed. "I will double it. Just name your price." Even Rujiri, who once boasted endlessly, lowered her voice and asked, "Please, what is your braiding technique?" Tamira looked at them quietly. She remembered every mockery and every insult. Yet, she chose grace over revenge. She simply smiled and said, "It's just talent and small grace." They stared at her hands, those miraculous, unstoppable hands, and wondered what secret they had. But the truth was something they could never imagine. One quiet Christmas night, as fireworks cracked softly in the distance, Tamira heard a familiar voice near the river bank. Adora of the deep sea emerged from the water, glowing beneath the moonlight. She wore the braids proudly, now adorned with pearls from the sea. "My lover adored me," she said with deep joy. "He said I looked like a dream made real. Oh my God, I'm so happy." She reached into the water and brought forth a basket of shimmering seashells. It was iridescent, luminous, and unlike anything from the mortal world. "Sell these," Adora said. "They will bring you fortune beyond your imagination." "This is my first gift to you." "Your first gift?" Tamira exclaimed. "You have done more than enough," she said. Tamira accepted them with quiet awe and thanked her. In the months that followed, the seashells made her wealth. Tamira built a bright modern salon with wide mirrors and elegant chairs. She hired young stylists and treated them gently, teaching them with patience and laughter. Her rivals matured into supporters, and the community now spoke of her with respect. People often asked her how she rose to success, but Tamira simply smiled and said, "Kindness travels far." And at night, when the wind was soft, she sometimes thought of a mermaid with braided hair and smiled. Thank you so much for watching and stay blessed.